Let's talk about the different kinds of metric length. Centimeters are about the length of a fingernail, not very large. Meters are a bit larger. They are about the width of a doorway. Kilometers are about 10 football fields, so that's pretty big. And then we have millimeters, which are super tiny. They're just about the thickness of a dime. When I have these different lengths, 1 meter is about 100 centimeters. So it takes a lot of centimeters to equal 1 full meter. A kilometer is 1,000 meters. So think of 1,000 doorways just lined up. That's a kilometer. 1 meter is 1,000 millimeters. But today we're going to talk about converting between these different units of measurement, and to do that, we're going to use multiplication or division. So how are you supposed to know when you multiply and when you divide? Well, you're going to have to be familiar with the size of each measurement, knowing which ones are smaller and which ones are larger. When you go from larger units, like a kilometer, to a smaller unit, like a meter, you are going to multiply. We're going to use multiplication. A fun way to remember that is you can think large to small, multiply them all. To go from a smaller unit to a larger unit, you're going to use division. A fun way to remember that is from small to large, divide and take charge. So knowing the lengths of the measurements and knowing how big or small they are can be really helpful. Let's look at some examples. Here we have 200 centimeters is equal to how many meters? Since I'm dealing with centimeters and meters, I know that I'm going to be using the number 100. Centimeters are about this big, and a meter is about the width of a doorway, so that's small to large, divide and take charge. So our equation is 200 divided by 100. Now, if I wanted to, I could put a decimal point at the end of my whole number here, and when you divide by 100, that's just 10 times 10, so that's 2 zeros. I would move that 1, 2 places, but I know that 200 divided by 100 is 2. So 200 centimeters is 2 meters. Next we have 2 kilometers is how many meters? 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. Remember, kilometers are huge, like 10 football fields to a meter. So that's large to small, multiply them all. So I'm using that 1,000. My equation is 2 times 1,000. I think we can use mental math for that to give me 2,000 meters. 2 kilometers is 2,000 meters. Next, we have 1,500 meters is equal to how many kilometers? I'm still using meters and kilometers, so I'm still going to use this number 1,000. Now remember, meters, doorway, kilometers, football fields. So that's small to large, divide and take charge. So our equation is 1,500 divided by 1,000. So let's put our decimal point at the end. Since we're dividing by 1,000, that's 3 groups of 10. Those 3 zeros can tell me I can move my decimal point 3 places to the left. I'm using division, so I'm going to the left. That puts my decimal point right here, which gives me 1.5 kilometers. And if you wanted to, you could even check that division with multiplication if you're more confident in multiplication. Next, we have meters to millimeters. So I'm going to use the number 1,000. Meters, doorway, millimeters, super tiny like a dime. So that means I'm going from a larger unit to a smaller unit. Large to small, multiply them all. So my equation is 2.5 times 1,000. So I can take this 2.5, 1,000 is 3 groups of 10, so I can move my decimal point 1, 2, 3 places to the right because I am multiplying. Now these blank spaces right here aren't going to stay blank. I'm going to fill them in with zeros. So now I have 2, 5, 0, 0, and I can't forget about my comma. Remember, comma, 3 digits. So 2.5 meters is equivalent to 2,500 millimeters.